Hi guys, it's Kirby. Welcome back to my channel. We are here with another dupe because it's still April and we're doing the April Fool's Dupes video series. Today we are doing a concealer dupe, the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer versus the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. We are going to see how these guys go up against each other. If you are interested to see this video, then please keep watching. Alright guys, the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer dupe. This one has been out there for a little while now. Makeup Revolution recently came out with their Conceal and Define Concealer and everybody kind of went crazy. They are saying that it is an exact dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. The Tarte Shape Tape retails for $27 and the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define retails for $7. So there's a $20 savings. The Tarte Shape Tape has 0.3381 fluid ounces and the Makeup Revolution has 0.14. So you're getting still about double the product in the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer than the Makeup Revolution. But still, it's a $20 savings, so I mean, in the grand scheme of things, even if you bought two of these, it's still a savings from the Tarte Shape Tape. I don't know how many colors each of them come in. So the Tarte Shape Tape has 14 shades, and the Makeup Revolution has, it looks like 18 shades. Going from C1 all the way to C18, and C18 looks extremely dark, and C1 is like very, very pale, like paper white. So the Makeup Revolution definitely has a very good range, as well as the Tarte Shape Tape. I do, however, feel like the Makeup Revolution has a slightly larger range of colors though. No shade, again, on any company. I'm not trying to pit companies against each other. These aren't sponsored. I paid all my own money for them. This was just a dupe that caught my eye a little while ago, not even, like, I don't know. So we're just trying them out today. I got both of these off of Ulta, and this is a brand new one that I've had for a little while when I got it on sale, like way back. But I'm a light sand in Tarte Shape Tape, and the Makeup Revolution, I have swatched about all of them, and I honestly don't know what my Makeup Revolution concealer is. I got C4, so if it's a little off, we're not going to actually comment on the actual color. We're going to just comment on like texture, formula, coverage, things like that. So I already have my foundation and my eyebrows on, and what I'm going to do is actually prime and do my eyebrows because I always do that with my Tarte Shape Tape. And so I thought I would do that as part of the test, because if I'm always using my Tarte Shape Tape, I want a concealer that can do just that. So I'm using just a small Ulta eyeshadow brush, which is a synthetic brush, and I got my new dollar store mirror. Look at how cute that is. I might bejuzzle it. So I'm just going to see how these go up against each other. I'm doing Makeup Revolution on this side and Tarte Shape Tape on this side, and I'm going to use two different brushes to give them a fair test. Okay, so in terms of color, the C4 on the Makeup Revolution is a little too pink for me. But that is okay, because we're not commenting on color. The Makeup Revolution has a nice texture. It feels pretty thick, just like the Tarte Shape Tape. It has nice coverage. It definitely has cleaned up a lot of my eyebrows. I was having some trouble with the Makeup Revolution side one. Onto the Tarte Shape Tape, which I've used in previous videos. Again, nice texture, full coverage, a lot of pigment in it. And now we're just going to blend it out with a Real Techniques sponge, which is damp. Alright, and now I'm just going to actually prime the eyes with both, because this is what I've been using for my eyeshadow primer recently as well. And then blending them out. And then I'm going to set that with some of the Coty Airspun Extra Translucent Setting Powder, because that's what I have right in front of me. Alright. And I'm going to do my eyes off camera really quickly. I'm just gonna do like a light shadow on them. However, right off the bat, I can already tell that even though the textures are really similar, the Makeup Revolution is slightly thinner of a formula, and it definitely doesn't have as much pigment in it, or as much pigment as I would like to have in this type of a concealer. So that's kind of where we're at, although it did clean up my eyebrow really nicely, or at least as well as it could with how crappy I did this eyebrow. But we're going to do our eyeshadow real quick, see how they are as a base, and then come back to do the concealer. Okay, so I quickly slayed an eye look. I don't have any mascara or lashes or bottom, whatever you want to call it, lower lash line. Why am I having such trouble lately? Lower lash line, because I always do that after I do my concealer and I like finish the face. But we're going to move on to actually concealing. I'm just going to use the same one that I used for that eyebrow or that side. But before I do that, let me know, because I wasn't going to say this, but now I think I'm going to. As a eyeshadow base, this was amazing. The Makeup Revolution was amazing as an eyeshadow base. It showed the colors really well. It blended nicely. It was nice and pigmented. It felt super soft on the skin. I mean, it definitely held up, obviously, to the Tarte Shape Tape concealer side. However, like, I don't know, there was just something about the Makeup Revolution side this time around that I just really liked. And so as an eyeshadow base, this was amazing, just FYI. But now we're just going to conceal. And my bags have been like really bad lately, so this is a true test. I did buy some color correcting stuff, but I haven't gotten into it yet, so I didn't think that using that would be a fair test for this, because I haven't used it on the regs, so I just wanted to see how this would perform by itself. So I don't know if the camera is picking this up really all that well, but the color that I got in the Makeup Revolution is C4. It has like a very pinky neutral undertone, whereas the Light Sand obviously is yellow. And that's because whenever I do my concealer, I generally like to have like a yellow undertone to my concealer than the rest of my face. That's just my personal preference. So that's why I said that the C4 isn't necessarily my shade. It's just because personally I like to have a yellow undertone. However, I think C4 will match my eyes just fine. It's not going to be an issue. So I got two different beauty blenders here, beauty sponges. They're from Real Techniques, just so that we could kind of have a fair shot at how both of these perform. Even though I know I've already used this one just slightly on my eyes, I don't honestly think it's going to be that big of a difference, because I blotted off on a paper towel anyways to get all the product off. So we're just going to blend. We're just going to set that really quickly so it doesn't crease too much. Again, with the Coty Airspun. So that blended out really nicely. It's actually taking to the powder really nicely as well. I mean, I have crepiness underneath my eyes because I'm apparently a crepey-eyed 27-year-old, so like there's that, like, but I didn't notice too much creasing, and the product didn't move around all that much, so I'm actually pleased with how the Makeup Revolution side came out. So let's do the Tarte Shape Tape side. So as I'm blending out the Tarte Shape Tape side, I already noticed that the Tarte Shape Tape is a little bit of a thicker, tackier formula than the Makeup Revolution, although they do have quite similar coverages. It's just, I'm feeling that the Tarte Shape Tape is just heavier on the skin than the Makeup Revolution, so if you're not wanting, obviously, a heavy concealer, this isn't for you. Again, setting with the Coty Airspun. I mean, Right now they're definitely looking like they are almost perfect dupes. The only thing that I'm definitely noticing is that the formula is really different. So whereas the Tarte Shape Tape is kind of a thick formula and it's a little tacky, the Makeup Revolution is definitely more of like a milky consistency. I don't want to say that it's like watery or that it's liquidy because it still has like a very full coverage to it, so it's definitely not watery, but it has a little bit more of like a thinner consistency, and I want to say like it's a little bit more milky. It feels very lightweight on the skin. Like I don't feel it on my face like I do the Tarte Shape Tape side, and it's interacting with the Coty Airspun, which is what I use daily because it's cheap. I'm really liking kind of how that's feeling, and honestly the C4, even though it doesn't have a yellow undertone, which like I'm generally used to, just to really like highlight my under eyes and like highlight the center of my face, you know, like it wasn't a bad color match for me. Even though I have hollows on my face, because again, I am a crepey, hollowed face 27-year-old. It definitely covered up my circles, like my dark circles, without any color correcting or anything like that. So I'm going to go finish the rest of my face, lower lash line, mascara, contour, a little bit of highlight and all that jazz, and then we will come back for final thoughts. However, I am highly impressed with this Makeup Revolution concealer. So I'm very, very impressed. Let us finish the face and we'll be back. I'm a little crazy with the bronzer today, but that's okay. And please forgive the texture of my skin. You can literally see every single pore in the entire world on my face right now. I just really need like to peel off a layer and then have beautiful skin. So other than the terrible crepiness slash wrinkles under my eyes, because again, I'm a crepey, wrinkly, under-eyed 27-year-old, I am really impressed by how the Makeup Revolution side held up. And honestly, side by side, even though this side looks like slightly more yellow, this was the Tarte Shape Tape side, they don't look any different after you put the powder on. And again, no color correcting because I thought that that was a better test of like how the coverage actually was, not using any color correcting and seeing how full coverage it is. I am very impressed by the Makeup Revolution. Now, like I said, the formulas are pretty different. Like the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer is a little bit thicker and tackier, and it does have slightly more pigment. However, the Makeup Revolution is like very milky and it's soft on the skin, and honestly, it does have some pretty good coverage. Up close, you can kind of see like shadows of where my dark circles are, again, because no color correcting. However, for a $7 concealer, I was very, very skeptical about how this was actually going to perform because I feel like Makeup Revolution for me personally is like a hit or a miss. There are some things that I have from Makeup Revolution, like the liquid highlight that I did a dupe on, that I'm like, yes, this is amazing. But I also have a banana powder from them that does not look cute on me whatsoever. So I feel like it's a hit or a miss, and so I was skeptical because everybody's like, it's like an exact dupe for this. And so I was like, you know what? Let me try that out. And for $7, I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna go with the Makeup Revolution because I get the same effect as the Tarte Shape Tape. It works well as an eyeshadow base. It carved out my eyebrow really, really nicely. Like, I have yet to find a concealer that I liked as much as Tarte Shape Tape, mainly because of the versatility that Tarte Shape Tape was for me. It was an eyeshadow base, it carved out my eyebrows, I used it as spot concealer, I used it sometimes as a foundation, and yes, although I do have my other favorites like the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Cream, that is my all-time favorite concealer, it just doesn't have the versatility that I have with the Tarte Shape Tape. Like, I can't use that as an eyeshadow base, and as a spot concealer, it doesn't work out as well. But as like an under eye concealer and a highlighting concealer, Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Cream takes my breath away. But the Tarte Shape Tape for versatility, Makeup Revolution, boom, The Conceal and Define, it is right up there with you. Great eyeshadow base, great eyebrow carver. I didn't use spot conceal because, again, I didn't think that would be a fair test because I have spots all over my face. But in future videos, watch out for me to use the C4. I'd like to see if maybe I could get a slightly more yellow base rather than a pink or a neutral, only because that's not how I like to see my makeup personally. But for taking a chance in what color to get, I don't think that's too bad. I don't think that's too bad at all. I forgot blush. I'm looking at my face like, why does it look so weird? I forgot blush. I'm gonna go and do that. But since this video is over, you don't need me to come back. I will say, certified dupe, not necessarily texture-wise, but coverage-wise, Conceal and Define is where it's at in terms of replacing the Tarte Shape Tape in your makeup bag. I will link all of the products that I used in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up, or if you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Have you used the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define yet? Have you tested it against your own Tarte Shape Tape? Is Tarte canceled for you? Are you using the Makeup Revolution because it's canceled for you? Let me know all of that in the comment section below. As always, please be sure to subscribe and hit the little notification bell so you don't miss out on any dupes or videos. Thanks so much for watching, guys.